In the quiet heart of a bustling town, nestled between an old bookshop and a tiny bakery, stood a modest tailor shop named Sahil Stitches. It was run by a man known simply as Master Sahil, a quiet, meticulous tailor in his mid-30s, whose life had revolved around fabric, measurements, and threads for as long as he could remember. Sahil was known for two things: the perfection of his craft and the solitude of his soul. His clients came and went, but he rarely spoke more than necessary. He poured his heart into his stitching, yet left little room for emotions in real life. That was until she walked in. It was a breezy Thursday afternoon when the doorbell chimed, and a girl stepped into his shop. Her name was Meher, a graceful young woman with eyes full of stories and a smile that seemed to carry summer itself. She walked with confidence, but spoke with gentleness. Dressed in a soft pastel salwar, she handed him a folded sheet with her measurements. "I'd like to have a few dresses made for an upcoming family event," she said. Sahil looked up from his notebook to meet her gaze. For a moment he was lost. Something in her voice, the way she pronounced his name when she said, "Master Sahil," or maybe the elegance of her movements, stirred something dormant in him. As he took her measurements, his hands remained professional, but his heart was racing. When he reached the chest measurement, his hand paused, not out of desire, but an overwhelming wave of emotion. There was nothing improper in the moment, but everything felt intense. He realized he was seeing not just her physical beauty, but the softness in her smile, the honesty in her eyes. He blinked, shook his head slightly, and scribbled down the numbers. Over the next few days, Meher returned several times, to try on outfits, to ask for adjustments, or sometimes just to browse designs. Slowly, their conversations deepened. What started as tailoring talk turned into shared laughter, stories of childhood, books, music, and dreams. Their friendship blossomed like spring after a long winter. Sahil began waiting for her visits. He'd make her tea, offer biscuits, and eventually, they started talking long after the shop had closed. Then one evening, as rain tapped gently on the windows, Meher stayed back a little longer than usual. She tried on her final outfit, a sea blue anarkali, and stood before the mirror. Sahil watched from behind, and their eyes met in the reflection. The air between them thickened with unsaid words. She turned around, and for the first time, they embraced. That night changed everything. From then on, their friendship turned into something more intimate, a soft, passionate romance built not just on desire, but deep companionship. They would meet in the quiet corners of the tailor shop when the shutters were down, share warm hugs, stolen kisses, and dreams whispered in each other's arms. The shop that once echoed with the hum of a sewing machine now held laughter, affection, and quiet love. They began spending more time outside, holding hands at the movies, sipping tea at roadside stalls, walking through book fairs. But the most magical memory was their trip to the beach. It was Meher's idea. "Let's go somewhere no one knows us," she said, her eyes dancing with mischief. The beach was quiet, kissed by golden sands and orange sunsets. They sat together, watching the waves crash and retreat. Sahil had never felt so free. He looked at Meher and said, "All my life, I stitched clothes with love, and now I feel like life has stitched you into my heart." She smiled and leaned into him. That night, under the stars, with the waves as their lullaby, they held each other. No words, no promises, just presence. They returned home, not just as lovers but as partners. Eventually, Sahil renamed his shop Sahil and Meher Couture. She brought in modern designs and creativity, while he stitched with soul. Their love story wasn't loud or dramatic. It was woven slowly, like the perfect stitch, precise, patient, and enduring. And like every good tailor knows, the best things in life take time, care, and a whole lot of heart.